Wait. Oh shoot. Woo. Hey.
Hi guys, I'm Fernanda. What's poppin'?
I'm Daniel. I'm 16 years old.
And I'm from Connecticut in the United States. I'm 17 years old.
I'm from São Paulo, Brazil.
And welcome to another Perspectopia video!
Good morning.
I just made my little breakfast. I just made some simple oatmeal, and that's basically what I eat in the morning. I usually make eggs too, but I guess today I woke up a little bit late. I usually end up waking up like 7, but today I decided to wake up at 7:15. Those extra minutes I usually make an egg or something like that. And yeah, it's 8:18 right now, and I'm about to quickly just make my bed and just clean up a bit so I can have a clean space and I can actually do my work and all that. My first class I have is painting, and you know, just work on some paintings and stuff. I'm not really like an artist. I'm not really like a good painter or drawer, so it's like I'm not really an artist. I can't really paint, I can't really draw, so I'm gonna try my best in that class. But yeah, I'm just gonna clean my room and just make sure I have a clean space so I can work and, you know, get through the day. But so far my morning's going good, and yeah, let's get cleaning. I have a mess. That's how you make your bed. Alright, so I usually like sit down and just like start painting in my bed, which is not the smartest thing to do. I think being in a nice surface where you can make sure you do your work and all that is good. So for this video, I'm gonna actually put you guys here, and I'm gonna paint on the floor just because my desk over there's a bunch of stuff. I have a bunch of materials that I use for painting. Oh my god. Some brushes, some boards, plates, a notebook. So I actually got the stuff for free. I went to the school and they just gave me that bag with a bunch of stuff so we can work at home. And you know, so I'm gonna log into class because it's like 8:25. We actually have a substitute, which is like a second teacher. In America, we have a substitute, and whenever a teacher is out, when she's sick, when something's going on, we have a second teacher, and that teacher, you know, gives us the work and all the assignments, and just he or she runs the class. Got my oatmeal in my little cup. This is an everyday cup. It's like my favorite cup ever. It's so cute. I don't know. It's so old, but like it's cute, if you know what I mean. It's like an old cup, but it's a nice cup because it has a lot of memories.
But yeah, I'm Daniel and I'm here to show you how my day studying at Brazilian private school will go, and also I might talk a bit about how our education system works, how to get into a college here, and how is my routine today since it's been a year that COVID-19 showed up. And as you can see, not many things has changed yet, but let's see. So I'm about to head to school and let's just see how today is gonna be like. I'm pretty excited about going to school today, especially because of chemistry classes. Not that I am a big fan of chemistry, the thing is that this teacher is so good. He's the kind of guy that makes everyone to pay attention to what he's saying. Not to mention that he always talks to us about football, reality shows, about his life, about his relationships. And thinking about it now, for me, having those teachers on schools makes all the difference. Because, you know, imagine how many people this one teacher can inspire to be a better person in only one day, and imagine the value of this teacher's one joke on someone having a bad day, you know? Okay, I have just come back from school. It started to rain a lot, but I couldn't actually film much inside of school because I had 3 hours of straight teaching without having any break, and that's how my school is working during the pandemic. We're having both online and in-person classes, so every day at different times I have to be at school for at least 3 hours, and then more 3 hours of online school at home. And to be honest, it has been pretty crazy to conciliate both formats, especially having the discipline of coming back from school and taking more classes at home. But what I can say is that I'm pretty happy about seeing people face to face again and having those wonderful interactions that high school offers to us.
We're probably gonna draw or paint or something, so I guess you guys can make fun of me. Okay, so I'm actually early today, kind of. I still need to log in, but you know, I have 2 minutes to log in, and yeah, log into class. People usually come late. People usually come 5 minutes, even 10 minutes late, so I'm completely fine, or I guess, yeah, I'm early. So we have a wine glass and there's a fruit behind, and over here we have a little jar with some paintbrushes. That it was cool. Yeah, we have to make 4, but you know, I decided to take my time and I only did 2. I'll do the other 2 for homework, but I think they turned out okay. You know, I'm not really into drawing, but when you take your time and you do it carefully, things turn out good. So my next class is psychology, and then after that I have math, and then to finish it I have health. So yeah, pretty productive day.
Have a good weekend. Be safe, stay out of the snow, and I'll see you guys soon. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Hope you like it.
And that was psychology. Next, I have math, but first I have lunch. So as we all know, I think we all do, the school system around the world is very, very different. That includes like the continents, countries, even states. Even in the United States, yes, the school system might be the same, but every single state has their own rules and every single state works a little bit different. So I'm gonna be giving my perspective from my school, my state, and even my state. Some of the cities do not work the same. So I'm gonna try my best to kind of give the perspective of the entire United States if I can. I don't know other school systems around the US, but I'm hoping it is the same. One thing that we do have different is the start time of the school and like the end of school. All schools have different hours and they all, you know, go in differently, different times, they end different, so it's kind of, that's a little bit of a difference, but the work and all that, it is basically the same. The school system basically works the same. For example, my school starts at 8:30 and we end at 2:50. We changed the time because students were not getting enough sleep, so they were like, let's change the time so they can get good sleep, because students will fall asleep in class, they weren't learning, and they thought the best idea was to change the time and to make it a little bit later so students get enough sleep and we can wake up and be ready to learn. I know other schools around the US have different times. Some of them enter at 7, 7:30, even 9, so it all depends on the state. That means we get out later because we change the time to, like, you know, enter later. So we used to get out at 2:15 and now we get out at 2:50, so it's like another extra almost an hour. One thing that we have similar, I'm pretty sure, around the United States is the after-school programs, which include sports, clubs, and all that kind of stuff. I know some schools cannot afford some clubs and they don't have the same clubs or they don't have the same sports because they don't have the space in their school, but they do sports and clubs and all that. Some of the sports that we have in school are like soccer, cross country, baseball, football, etc. All these sports. We also have clubs which involve like community clubs and like French club, Italian club, Spanish club. It all depends on the club. So we have a bunch of clubs going on. And that's the school bus actually. Talking about the school bus, the transportation, it is you can either take the bus, you know, like the public bus, you can take the other public bus, which is like the city bus, or you can go walking, take a bike, or your car. It all depends how you want to move, how you want to get to school. So you have a couple options, you know? Alright, so now I'm gonna get into the food part of the whole school system. It is a very interesting topic just because the food is not the best. I'm not a picky person and I'm very grateful. And for me to be saying that, it's kind of interesting. I'm not going to talk about other like people's food, like school food. I'm not going to talk about mine, but just to put it in simple words, some people have gotten sick from that and it's just not 100% healthy. Luckily, my school has a very good food system. They serve you salad and you have different options that you can eat, so it's not just one option, because other school systems only have one option and you have to stick to that option, or you can bring food from home. But my school actually has different options and different stations where you can get your food, which is very cool, you know? I guess the work is very similar, learn the same topics, a little bit different, but we all learn the same topics. We take the same like test when it comes to like college and all that. The grading is the same, it goes from A, B, C, D, and F. If you get an F, you fail. You have to repeat the year or the class. It all depends how many Fs you have. So if you have a bunch of Fs, you of course fail the year. But if you have one F, you can retake that class. And I guess you can go on to the next year. But it all depends your grades and all that. So I guess the differences will be the time you enter school, the time you get out, some of the clubs and some of the sports, because not all schools have the same sports. Just like I said, they don't have the space or just the environment, but other than that, everything else is similar, and that just gives a little perspective of how the school here works, the school system and everything. I know other countries and other continents don't work the same, and it's actually very, very unique how every country has their own rules to their school and how they work differently. And like, I've seen all these movies how in China it's so different, and I find it so beautiful. It's just like, it's another experience, and it's something cultural, like it's all culture, and like, you know, it's so unique and so beautiful. I like it, and it's definitely very, very cool to learn about other school systems around the world and how we all learn different ways. I find that so cool and so amazing. but we're all learning, and at the end of the day we all learn the same thing, because that's what college is. It's like basically, you know, you get to college and you know basically the same thing as other people. So it's kind of cool the fact that you get to learn but differently, if that makes any sense. That's just a little bit of how the school system works and just the basic things about it. There's actually more into that, and it's just something simple and something to, you know, put in mind, I guess. With that being said, with everything going on, COVID and everything, I feel like schools would be opening up. At least here in Connecticut, the cases have been slowing down a bit. They have been lowering down. So, you know, in a couple months, I feel like slowly students will start going into school and not be normal, but be some kind of normal. Start going into school. Maybe you do wear masks, but maybe more people come in. Because right when COVID started, we did online school, and then right around when school was gonna, you know, start again, around August, September, they gave us a choice to do hybrid, which is like you basically can go to school one day and then one day you do online. There would be like 5 people in class. Out of 20 something people, there will only be 5 people in class because of COVID. My teacher just told me that students are slowly coming into school, obviously wearing masks and everything, but the hallways are just more packed now, a little bit more people in school, which is good, because I feel like going into school is way better than doing online, in my opinion. It's my last year in high school, and to be online, it kind of sucks, because you don't get to experience prom. Prom is basically like a dance where you go and hang out and all that with friends, and it's just like a little party going on. And I'm still doing online, and it's still something that I'm struggling with, because sometimes you just get that laziness going on, and like sometimes you just don't feel motivated to do your work. And I feel like being in school, I feel like you get more motivation. It's easier to stay focused rather than doing online school, having something going on around your house, your brother screaming, your sister doing something, whatever. You get distracted easily. In my opinion, that's what I think is gonna happen. I think that slowly we're gonna return back to normal, and hopefully within a few years everything will be normal. I feel like this virus will be kind of like the flu. The Spanish flu, I think that's the name of it, was like a huge thing back then. And now if you get the flu, yeah, you get the flu, but it's not like the coronavirus right now, which is like bad. I feel like we do have that one chance, and that one chance is to open up and go back to normal. You feel me? I don't know. That's my opinion on it. This whole mountain gets so colorful, and there's plants everywhere, but right now everything's dead. So maybe in the summer everything will lighten up, you know, start seeing more colorful things in this world, because right now this whole pandemic just turned everything gray. It just turned everything black and gray. It was like, it's really sad. Yeah, I'm just very excited, and hopefully those predictions come true, and I cannot wait.
Let me introduce you to Brazilian school system. Basically, our education is divided into 4 levels. They are preschool education, that's where you go when you are a real kid until you reach your 7 years. Then from 7 to 14 you get to elementary school. Then from 15 to 17 you get to high school, and that's 3 years of high school. And after the 3rd one you get to college. There are 2 ways of entering a university here. The first one is to take this one in a big national exam that allows you to enter in a lot of places. And the second one is only if you're trying to get into the best universities in the country, so you might have to take this specific, much harder exam than the average one. And speaking about college, like most of other countries, if someone here doesn't want to go to college after high school, they will find a very different path in front of them, and that's because everything here is planned for you to enter college. Society, family, schools, they're all expecting and preparing you to get a graduation, so then you can work for the rest of your life. So yeah, artists, musicians, and entrepreneurs have a very difficult life here in Brazil. Another thing about our system is that everything depends on the school you are. Because of the fact that here, private schools are way better than public ones, we don't get that general education available for everyone. So if you go for public school, chances are that you get a really bad education. And then if you compare the private ones, from the cheapest to the most expensive, there is a huge gap between the level of education. And in my opinion, like most of the schools around the world, our education system also needs big changes. And I think that way because our method of learning things is much more about how many things a student can remember than how many things a student actually need to learn and actually will use it for his life after school. But what gets me hopeful is that things are changing, slowly but they are. For example, I'm studying at a school that 10 years ago, they were only teaching these traditional subjects like math and physics, but now I already have the chance to study cinema and economy, and I think that's great. And that's what I had to say. Thank you, and I see you in Perspectopia.